worse than Watergate?
Well, I guess the worse than Watergate guy wasn't available, so they got another worse than Watergate guy to take his place. He's like the B-level worse than Water. He's John Dean. He's definitely no Carl Bernstein. Or maybe I have them confused. I don't know. Just remember, Democrats and media, you will never be able to contest another election as long as you live. And you love doing it. No more. You're not going to be able to do that. And unless your candidate is a pre-chosen one by the establishment, you will be targeted with lawfare, which means your staff and your lawyers and your family will be sued and charged, because all of these indictments are meant to send a warning to everybody else. Don't work with Trump, right? So you will lose a lot of time, you will lose your minds, you will lose a lot of money. So if you're on the opposition, you're watching this show right now and laughing, and because you're getting what you're applauding something that isn't moral at all. It's something that is emotional and kind of petty, but it's going to come back to bite you in the ass. If you're a Republican, all right, this has to be exhausting. It has to be confusing. It has to be overloading because it never stops. That's the point. They're trying to wear you down. Wearing somebody down is a type of persuasion. It's the political version of brute force, you know, submitting endless passwords, hoping that eventually you'll guess it correctly. That's what the indictments are doing. They're constantly putting this in here. Even the attempt itself is tiresome because you have to deal with it. You're the machine that responds. This is the largest political cancellation in history. It's a bloodless assassination. They want you to freak out over it, and you need not to. The scarier response is silence, because that means you take it more seriously than they'll be aware of. The Democrats, and then I'll shut up, are using this reality show trick. If they pile on the events, right, whether it's challenges, if you ever watch any reality show, they start stacking the events, challenges, obstacles, stunts, they're trying to get the most visual, memorable thing to happen. And that's what they're doing. They want you to freak out. They want you to blow your mind. But no, just go back to work and settle it that way.
Judge, before 9:06 a.m. this morning on Newsroom, both Jonathan Turley and former Governor Chris Christie, who was also a GOP candidate, had called the latest indictments that they read excessive and unnecessary. Is that sort of the consensus that you're seeing on that side of the aisle?
Well, I think that 4 indictments in 5 months is a bit excessive. I think it kind of reeks of, as Alina Habba said, desperation. But here's my concern. Look, there's an issue that has to do with preemption, okay? And the truth is that we've got Jack Smith, the special counsel in Washington, who's already indicted Trump for attempting to unlawfully overturn an election. And in that indictment are several references to the Georgia statute, specifically Section 10B, 12A, 21ABC, 21 through 33. And what does that tell you? Why am I blathering on about that? What it tells you is that the feds have already indicted him for this. She then, as a local DA, is precluded from going forward with her own indictment. It doesn't work in the reverse. But when the feds come in, the local can't follow up and say, I'm going to indict him too. No, you can't. There are procedural issues. And then there's collateral estoppel, which is another legal term that I apologize for, if in the event there is a conviction or a plea that would prevent him from being tried in state court on the very issues that Jack Smith used in his indictment. Now, let me say a couple things. This all has to do with Donald Trump's state of mind. The issue is it criminal to pursue the legal means to disagree with an election result? And if that's true, then Stacey Abrams, Hillary Clinton, Bush v. Gore. Let's talk about the lawyers in Bush v. Gore. Didn't they have meetings with lawyers and say, did we get this many votes in that state? Did we get this many? What about those hanging chads in your county? Should we make all of those meetings illegal and part of a conspiracy? And by the way, the RICO statute, that's just theater. That's just a bunch of theater in the midst of politics and a legal thing. The issue is not whether he wanted to overthrow it, but did he believe that he won? If he believed that he won, pursuing all these avenues are okay for him because in themselves they are not illegal. If you say, look, I need to find 11,000 votes, that's very different from saying, I need you to find me 11,000 votes somewhere. He just knows he's behind by 11,700 votes. And finally, did he know he lost, and did he then pursue all these avenues, or did he believe he won and was doing everything he can? It's going to be very hard to prove that.
What's up, everybody? I'm David with Americans for Limited Government. Greg Gutfeld and Judge Jeanine nailed it. There has been precedent in the past where people use lawsuits and the legal system to challenge elections. This is a repetitious attack on democracy. I know we're a constitutional republic, but this is election interference. It's an attack over and over and over again of making Republican voters overwhelmed. And here is, or conservative voters more generally, more accurately, more precisely. And here's the question that no one that is in support of these indictments can answer that I've heard. I haven't heard a single answer to this question, a satisfactory answer. What is the meaningful difference between what Trump did and Al Gore's lawyers did in 2000? What is the meaningful difference between what Donald Trump did and what Hillary Clinton did in 2016? And what Congress, what some Democrats in Congress, when they were counting electoral votes, what they did, and what Donald Trump and his Republican allies have done. What's the difference between what Trump did and what Stacey Abrams did in Georgia? Can someone who is in support of these indictments tell me specifically and legally what the difference is? Because I don't see any difference. It's all a joke. It's going to get thrown out, I believe, personally. You have Mark Meadows. He's already appealed this to the Supreme Court, he's saying he wants it to go to the federal courts. He's asking for it to go to the federal courts. And Judge Jeanine already brought up that point. You can't indict someone in the state if they've already been indicted in a federal way on the same specific charges, the same specific area of alleged activity. And Jack Smith has already covered that. So this is all insane, and good on Gutfeld and Judge Jeanine for telling it like it is. Hey, if you enjoyed this video, hit the thumbs up, subscribe, follow, comment, share. It helps our channel grow. We'll be back with more soon. Take care.